Today on the newscast, a stunning new archaeological discovery in Israel's Judean desert proves the story of the Maccabees, and just in time for Hanukkah. That's next. Hey folks, Erick Stakelbeck here. Welcome to the Watchman Newscast. Well, if you watch us here on a regular basis, you know that we love biblical archaeology here at the Watchman, and we've got a great new find to tell you about today. The Israel Antiquities Authority has struck again. They've uncovered amazing archaeological proof for the story of the Maccabees and the story of Hanukkah, which, by the way, kicks off this Sunday, December 18th, and lasts through December 26th. Now, it's always nice when Hanukkah and Christmas converge. After all, the Gospel of John tells us that Jesus celebrated the Feast of Dedication, or Hanukkah, in Jerusalem. Speaking of which, here it is. The Jerusalem Post reported this week that Israeli archaeologists recently uncovered a wooden box containing 15 silver coins that serve as proof of the Hanukkah story. Now, the discovery came in May, but the announcement only came this week, just in time for the holiday. The coins were discovered in the Wadi Morabat caves during an excavation project in Israel's Judean desert. According to the Jerusalem Post article, quote, the Israel Antiquities Authority reported that the uniform group of silver coins was minted by Ptolemy VI, king of Egypt, who reigned at the same time as his uncle Antiochus IV reigned over the Seleucid Empire. Remember that name. The three earliest coins in the hoard were minted in 176 BCE, while the later coin in the hoard dates from 171 to 170 BC. One of the coins featured a handwritten engraving of the name Shalamai in Aramaic script. Now, Antiochus, also known as Antiochus Epiphanes, is the evil king who the Maccabees fought against during the story of Hanukkah. He attempted to destroy the Jewish people and the worship of the God of Israel, and he defiled the temple in Jerusalem. But he ultimately went down to defeat thanks to the legendary warrior Judah the Hammer and the family known as the Maccabees. One of the researchers for the Israel Antiquities Authority told the Jerusalem Post that this discovery is, quote, the first clear archaeological evidence that the caves of the Judean desert were used as an area of activity for Jewish rebels or refugees in the days before the Maccabean revolt or at the start of it. So that's a pretty big deal, folks. The Maccabees, of course, fought for their religious freedom against the pagan Greek Seleucid Empire. When they finally reclaimed the temple in Jerusalem and rededicated it, a small amount of lamp oil lasted miraculously for 8 whole days, and that is why the Jewish people celebrate Hanukkah today. Now, for some in Israel who are living in poverty right now, including Holocaust survivors, Hanukkah isn't exactly a time for rejoicing. That's why our team at The Watchman is proud to partner with our good friends at Meir Panim to help Israel's neediest. Did you know that over 2.5 million Israelis live below the poverty line, including 1.1 million children and 1 out of every 3 Israeli Holocaust survivors? Meir Panim's restaurant-style soup kitchens are providing warm meals to these needy Israelis in a comfortable dining setting. If you want to fulfill the biblical mandate to bless Israel and help Meir Panim provide Israel's hungry with the food and care they need, just visit meirpanim.erickstakelbeck.com. Folks, it's a great cause that we truly believe in, and no better time to partner with Meir Panim than during Hanukkah. I spoke to Mimi Rosmarin of Meir Panim to learn more. Well, Mimi, it is great to have you with us. Hanukkah is upon us. Number one, I'd like you to tell us what Meir Panim does, and number two, why this time of the year, Hanukkah, is so important for your organization.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Hanukkah is such an important time in Israel, especially for social service organizations like Meir Panim. Our goal is a very broad one, and it is to break the cycle of poverty here in Israel. We do it mostly through food and social service benefits for people all throughout Israel in our 5 locations around the country. And we are committed to serving as a safety net for those in need. And so, as you mentioned with Hanukkah, it is such a time of joy and celebration. But for those in need, it's very difficult for them to celebrate and feel like they're in a joyous mood when they're facing a very challenging time in their lives. So we take this mandate to really inject as much happiness and giving as we can so that our patrons nationwide can celebrate the holiday just like all the other people around the world.
And Mimi, I've joined you. Our Watchman viewers have seen me with the Meir Panim team in Israel. I've joined you as you've served meals to Holocaust survivors. Tell us about some of the people you're going to be serving during this Hanukkah season.
Yeah, so it's incredible because as you saw last year when you were visiting us, there are so many people, unfortunately, that are really in need across this country. Israel, actually, there was a new list of the most expensive cities in the world. And for 2022, Israel was number 3 behind New York and Singapore. And so with an average salary of $41,000 a year for people living here in Israel, it is incredibly difficult for the average Israeli to make ends meet. So Meir Panim is here to serve as that safety net and to help people bridge the gap.
And these are Holocaust survivors. These are people who have financial problems. Also, Arabs, you're serving as well. You're serving every citizen of Israel.
Absolutely. One really incredibly special thing about Meir Panim is we really have a no questions asked, all our welcome policy. So anyone who comes through our doors, any race, any color, any denomination, any faith, we're happy to take care of them and help make them whole. It is really unique thing about Meir Panim. And as we know, there are 1/3 of all of the Holocaust survivors that are living in Israel are living on or below the poverty line. However, especially in the last 3 years with the rise in food prices, it is just very difficult for them to choose between paying for groceries or buying their medications. Since the pandemic, the poverty rate has doubled. And I've read recently that 28.3% of Israelis are struggling to pay their bills or make ends meet at the end of each month. And that's a staggering figure, especially considering that inflation has hit here so much so that the average grocery cart has gone up 30% in the last 3 years. So Israel, along with the rest of the world, is really facing challenges of inflation. And the people here that make on average of $40,000 a year are really struggling to decide whether or not they're going to buy groceries for themselves or their families or pay their utility bills.
And the need obviously intensifies during a time like Hanukkah, Mimi, which, as you said, it's a time of giving. It's a celebratory, festive time in Israel. I think of little children living below the poverty line who won't get their Hanukkah gifts, but they will certainly get a warm meal at Meir Panim for sure. Hey, speaking to Christians and people of faith around the world and thinking, of course, of the biblical mandate to bless Israel, just speaking from your heart, why do you think it's so important for people to support Meir Panim for such a time as this, in particular during a time like Hanukkah?
We think of Hanukkah as a holiday of lights here in Israel. And Meir Panim's name translates into to brighten the face or to lighten the face. So we take this holiday very seriously. And for folks, especially like children, as you mentioned, that are facing financial and economic hardship, we want to make this holiday as festive or even more festive than the average Israeli child, because we want to see them feeling whole and walking with confidence and feeling like everyone else so that they could be successful in their lives and move forward with confidence so that they can take the opportunity to break the cycle of poverty for the next generation.
You're doing God's work. I've been there at Meir Panim headquarters, as I said, and just to see how Meir Panim is a refuge, a safe haven for people who are really, really struggling. So God bless you, Mimi, for all you are doing. Thanks for joining us. Happy Hanukkah. Chag Sameach. We'll see you in Israel soon. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. all the good things into the new year.
Folks, again, just visit meirpanim.erickstakelbeck.com. You see the information there on your screen to partner with Meir Panim during Hanukkah and beyond. It's a great cause that we truly, truly believe in. Hey, thanks so much for joining us here today on the Watchman Newscast. Until next time, God bless you. And remember, never hold your peace. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the Watchman Newscast. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, click subscribe, and tap the bell icon to turn on notifications for new Watchman Newscast episodes every weekday.